New video shows the entrance to the 65-foot deep Hamas tunnel in Gaza, where we're told that 6 hostages were executed last week. You can see there on the wall, we're talking Mickey Mouse and Snow White, 2 Disney characters there drawn on the walls at the entrance to that tunnel. We also heard just yesterday from Israel's Prime Minister Bibi Netanyahu addressing the significance of the Philadelphia corridor and why it's one of the major sticking points of the potential deal. A lot to discuss here, so I do want to bring in Trey Yingst with Fox News as he is on the ground there covering the latest information. Good morning, Trey. Thank you so much for being here with us.
Yeah, hey, Josh, good morning. We continue to follow these developments out of Gaza, where 335 days in, Israeli forces are still operating in different areas of the Strip. We did get this new video from the Israeli military overnight showing the entrance to that tunnel in Gaza's 3rd largest city of Rafah, the southernmost city near to the Egyptian border. And this is where the Israelis say they recovered the bodies of 6 hostages that, according to the country's health ministry, were executed by Hamas just last week as Israeli forces moved in. You can see from this video, the entrance sits in what used to be a child's bedroom. And it gives you a sense of the type of urban combat that the Israelis are facing when they're inside Gaza and the difficulties they face as they try to go after Hamas and search for the remaining hostages that are still inside the Strip. Now, earlier today, Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu spoke with Fox's Brian Kilmeade. He discussed the ongoing negotiations and that critical Philadelphia corridor. Take a listen.
We have to keep the pressure on Hamas, and when we hold Philadelphia, we're really holding them by the choke point. And the second thing is we keep trying to get our hostages out. I'm committed to that with every fiber of my being.
Look, the Philadelphia corridor is largely seen as one of the sticking points in the negotiations that were started in Cairo, Egypt last month. They moved to Doha, Qatar. They're still going on at the working level, but according to the Prime Minister today when he was on Fox News, the negotiations right now are basically stalled. There is a lot of room between Hamas and Israel. And remember, they're not negotiating directly. These are indirect negotiations facilitated by the Egyptians, the Qataris, and the Americans. It does appear right now the more than 100 hostages that remain inside Gaza, some of them dead, some alive, will be there for much longer as both sides are at an impasse for a possible agreement. Josh?
And we did hear, as you mentioned, from Netanyahu as he spoke with Fox and Friends this morning. And one thing that you highlighted, he said a deal at this point is not close, which a lot of people had reported recently that, we were there, we were close to a deal. So is there, just based on what you've seen out there, any chance for a deal anytime soon?
Eventually, this conflict will end with a deal. It always does. There is always a diplomatic solution. It's just about reaching that solution. And where things stand right now, nobody wins in war around the world, but especially in this conflict, because as each and every day passes, the lives of the hostages that remain inside Gaza are at risk. And the death toll among the civilian population inside Gaza is rising. According to the United Nations, more than 40,000 people have been killed since the Israeli air and ground campaign against Gaza began following Black Saturday, the October 7th massacre. Now, the Israeli Prime Minister last night in a press conference in Jerusalem said 17,000 of them are Hamas militants. But according to that math, more than half of them are civilians. And each and every day that passes, the war continues. Nobody wins. And so that's why you have the Biden administration urging both sides to come to the negotiating table and reach an agreement. But as things stand right now, there is really nothing on the table that indicates they are going to get to an agreement anytime soon.
All right, Trey Yingst there with Fox News. As always, thank you so much for taking the time to join us and break down the latest developments. We appreciate it.